What you know about chilling in the back of the bug? What you know about rolling the back of the bug? We pull up with pools in the back of the bug. Them honeys getting old lady in the back of the bug. In the back of the bug, yeah. In the back of the bug, yeah. Just imagine the back of the bug. Hustling in the bug.
Yo, what's good, guys? It's your boy Governor Gus. Starting a channel where I'll be showing y'all peeps basically how to trade, the ins and outs, the fundamentals, the analysis, everything technical. I wouldn't say I'll be focusing on anything that's based on the news, because I don't really trade those according to the CPIs or any of that, but everything basically based on technicals. And second off, I do have a couple of machines up in this pit, just to run my statistics, get my measurement rights, my MACDs. I don't really use that a lot, but basically you'll be hearing a lot of noise like right now, and that would be probably one of the machines. So let's just hop right into it. As you can see, I got a chart USD, Swiss, the USD and the Swiss, and I'd say I pretty much just focus on the 15-minute, 5-minute and the 1-minute chart, the quick action. The one where people say there's a lot of noise, but there's actually a lot of information, more than what you call this, the 10-hour chart, the goddamn 10-hour chart, just to see what's happening today, bro. You gonna look flipping 30 days ago, look 5 minutes ago, so you understand what's going to happen in the next 10. But that's not it. Alright, so right now I'd say the concept I'm planning on showing you guys is liquidation and basically imbalances, if not also known as fair value gaps. I'll say this looks like a proper place to do it. If not, let me section it. So what I'll do is basically explain how this trend came about. This trend came about from that trend over there. So basically from the primary liquidation there to that primary liquidation to the swing low that took out the primary liquidation, and then I wouldn't necessarily call it a rejection, but the distribution towards the primary liquidation upstairs, and basically the chart's movement towards taking out the primary buy side liquidation, which I will be labeling out in a few seconds. Let me just put Mr. Error over there so you guys know what I'm talking about. So basically we'll be labeling it out. Right there is the primary buy side. That would be my primary buy side. And then down there, if you guys can see, that right there would be our primary sell side before initially this part of the chart happens. So basically teaching you how to predict the price around here. So initially you can also predict future movements like that through the liquidation model and the liquidation concept. It's not really complex, but once you do get the hang of it, I'd say it's not one of the simplest strategies or concepts, but it's one of the easiest models to grasp in terms of how it functions. Yes. So it's not easy to fully understand everything, but it's easier to understand the basics and actually just build your edge or your strategy off of initially that. So with that said, let's get right into it. I labeled out the primary. I also labeled out, let me just put the primary buy side. Whenever I say primary buy side, you must just know that's primary buy side liquidation, and then this side would be our primary sell side. Okay. With that said, we then move on to identifying our imbalances. So our imbalances would be our fair value gaps, these small gaps right in between the candles around about there, and then there's a big gap around about there, and then there's another gap around about there. These would be our imbalances that we try to outline so that we understand where liquidation is and where the market is initially moving. So basically an imbalance is where the market needs to go back to fill it up and make it balance, if that makes sense. And I'll be labeling those ones out with these baby right here. Let me just put them as a different color. Okay, what you saying, bad boy? What you saying, bad boy? I'm saying I'm trying to make your money. Bread. BTB stands for back to bread, you know? Bake that bread, back to bread, whatever it is, bro. But it's all about making that money. He was actually inside properly, bro. Why did you take him out? I don't know. Oh, I was focusing. See, too many distractions, bro. Even creating a video to help other niggas is a distraction right now. That's crazy. Okay, so right now what I'm doing is basically just outlining those imbalances. It won't really take long. Trust me, because the way price was moving up, it seems like it was actually sorting itself out. Yeah, but before we get that side, so basically this is what the chart would look like after having all your imbalances outlined. So that would be the imbalances from this trend here with the new low set. So we'd be focusing on this information around about here, including this information, and understanding that there is a pool of liquidity on the buy side of the market. So at this moment, before we actually see this part, we'd be understanding around about there that there is a pool of liquidity that the market is trying to reach to, as you can see there. But at that stage there, it got rejected and price went back down. But we're getting right into that right now. So basically these would be our imbalances, our buy sides and our sell side imbalances, inefficiencies, so our CBs and our BCs. It gets complex if I put it like that, but take it as an imbalance where the market basically needs to balance everything out. What's next? What's next is whenever you do see price create some of this wick action right here, wick action being rejection and a wick being created, and the longer it is, you must know that that's a lot of price rejection, because that is probably a very high 1 minute candle, and then after that that's the next 1 minute candle that dropped, and then that's also a pretty high 1 minute candle that faced rejection. So if it faced rejection in a 1 minute, and then you'd find it on a 15 second or even a 5 second, there was a lot of price movement there, but that's something we're not focusing on right now. So as you can see, there was liquidation upstairs towards the primary buy side, but what the market did first was it went in between the imbalances, it ranged, and then before it actually went for the liquidity or the pool of liquidity up there, the market came here, it ranged. Sorry, I didn't put this so that I can show you guys. The market came here, it ranged, and then after it ranged, it went for the primary sell side liquidity before it initially went for the buy side or primary buy side liquidity that it took out around about there. But from that, could deduce from that this part of the chart until up to there was a pool of liquidity upstairs, buy side pool of liquidity. And then with that said, if I do get deeper inside, if not in the next video, I will get deeper inside labeling out primary and minor buy side liquidities, and that will initially just help you outline the whole structure of the market, which pretty much is what you're doing as a trader, labeling out the structure of the market, and then basically from the characteristics that you have studied from your models and your concepts and your research, just put it out there, bro. See how it goes. But let's get back to the mesh. It was ranging, and another characteristic I wanted to explain about the market and imbalances is that it usually likes penetrating with a lot of volatility, like how I showed you in a 1 minute chart there where there was a lot of volatility going up. Basically that's how the market tends to react when it's handling or serving imbalances that it's trying to rectify, I'd say. But with that said, you can see there's a whole lot of volatility when it comes to even the 15-minute candle. And with that said, I also do like cutting, like I told you guys, and that's because these imbalances do play a major role throughout the chart, if not the whole market, labeling out your, what do you call this? Labeling out your respective prices. Like here, how we can see price was always ranging in between there, and then there was a lot of volatility around about there. The price was trying to, choose a direction, and then after when price exited, we can see it left with a lot of volatility. And if you do look at it properly, it was doing so because there was an imbalance it had to fill up from the other side. So all this volatility was to go through this imbalance and to also create a foundation above it. But if you also do realize, it basically just ended up bouncing off of this imbalance above there, and then basically creating the range effect once again. And then after rectifying, retracing, pulling back, carried on for what? Carried on for the primary buy side liquidation. I'd say that's pretty much the basics on how to handle liquidation, or if not more specifically primary buy side or primary sell side liquidation, and also whilst using imbalances. Not really fair value gaps per se, but they are fair value gaps for those who want to understand what imbalances are, but imbalances within the market to basically understand and predict where the price is. So initially we'd expect a movement of price even going up there, and then after attacking an imbalance, going back and finding a respected price, and then after finding a respected price, you really initially wanted to carry on to the next imbalance, and after it does find the next imbalance, you also want it to basically come back, and this imbalance would serve as a respected price for it to go back up, if you're understanding what I'm saying. So on the basic, we just wait for it to take out liquidity down there, and after it takes out liquidity, you just wait for a market structure somewhat like that, going up and down, but within the imbalances. And I'd say it's not really that complicated, but once you start looking at it like this, it just makes market structure a little bit easier to understand. Otherwise, I'd say that's the basic, and hope this video was informative for you guys. And in the next video, I'll just be showing people a little bit more information on the liquidation side rather than the imbalances, and then hopefully the following video after that will be about imbalances and how to serve in an inversion, and how to serve an inversion, fair value gap, and all of that. But basically right now, this is it, and this is how you can, or this is a strategy that you can basically implement to predict market structure. Yeah, peace out, niggas.
Baggy bird. What you know about chilling in the back of the bug? Chasing money in the back of the bug. I'm hustling in the back of the bug. Shooting that shit in the back of the bug. In the back of the bucky. These niggas is hosting a party with all of these homies. It's getting too rowdy.
I could never crash out. I could never crash out over no bitch. Fuck is you talking about?